G'day and welcome to another video. In today's lesson we will learn how to do this really awesome scarf. This project can also be made into a blanket. You just complete more rows. It's easy to adjust because you adjust the amount of chains that you use on the initial row. The yarn that I'm using today is Red Heart Super Saver. Red Heart Super Saver can be purchased from redheart.com. Redheart.com is also a great place for inspiration for your next project. I will leave all the links that you need in the description box and go and check out their new website. There is also a free written pattern for this scarf or Afghan, and that link will also be in the description box. So let's get started on the lesson. For the yarn for this project I will be using Red Heart Super Saver, and as you can see I have a bunch of scraps. The bright green is spring green, got bright yellow, turquoise. I'm pretty sure the green in the corner of the bucket there is tea leaf. There's honeydew, royal blue, shocking pink, paddy green, carrot, warm brown and real teal. And that's just literally grabbed off the shelf and sort of smaller balls that I had. I think one of that brown one might be a 4 ball, but the rest are already been used, as you can see. So that's my yarn I'm using. I've already finished my scarf, but what I'm going to do is just make a small section for the video. Last night I had some spare time. It was really dark, so it was not a good time to film. So I thought I'm going to sit down and make the scarf while I had some spare time, and then I'll just show you a little sample, and it's just literally making a longer chain for the scarf, the length that you want. So the order of colours that I have here, and this is only a really narrow scarf, it's not very wide at all. You've got spring green, there's carrot, real teal, shocking pink, bright yellow, honeydew, royal blue, turquoise, warm brown, tea leaf, real teal, shocking pink, carrot, bright yellow and spring green again. How's that for a memory? Not too bad, I think. So I'll show you what to do now, and what we're going to need is some scrap yarn and also crochet hook, and I'll show you just a sec what we need. So for the crochet hook, you're going to need a crochet hook that is bigger than what you would normally use for the yarn that you're choosing for your scarf. Normally I use a 5mm crochet hook, but I'm going to use a 5.5mm crochet hook today. The single crochet and this type of stitches, they work up tighter than a normal single crochet, because you'll see we're doing the single crochet just a little bit different in this video. You're going to need a pair of scissors and a yarn needle with a large eye, and you'll need this if you want to sew in your ends. But on this scarf I haven't actually finished my ends yet. This is just the tails from when we've changed colour, and what we're going to do is add a fringe to that as well. You can sew in your ends as you go, but personally I'm not going to, because that would take me forever. I think this would look really great as a blanket. Of course you just make as many chains as you like. So first of all we want to grab, and I'm just going to use 3 colours for the video, so I've just got my yarn to the side here. What you're going to do is make a chain as long as you want it. The scarf that was on the mannequin is quite short. If I did another one I would probably make it quite a bit longer so that I could wrap it around more times. But it was just for the video, so I just made a little short one. Going to make a slip knot. You can do this however you like. Oh, and first of all you want to decide how long you want your fringe on your scarf. That's if you're going to have a fringe. And you could use the fringe on the blanket too. I think that would look really cool. You would have your fringe on each end. So decide how long you want that, and then make your slip knot. And then when we join our yarn in two, we make it the same length of our tail that's hanging out. We want an even amount of chains. So you're not going to use 2 chains, but let's just say from 10, it'll be 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So any number that can be divided by 2, that's what you want. So I'm going to just choose 12 for the video because I just want a little sample. It's a lot easier to get in front of the camera. What we want to do is single crochet into the second chain from the crochet hook. We do not count the one that's on our chain. That's the first one and that's the second one. We're going to single crochet into there. We're going to chain one and then we're going to skip a stitch. Skip this chain, go into that one for a single crochet. We're going to chain one, we're going to skip a stitch and single crochet in the next. And we repeat this all the way across. So it's chain one, skip one, single crochet in the next. Chain one, skip one, single crochet in the next. Chain one, skip one, and when we come along to the last chain we're going to go into the stitch, pull up a loop, and we're going to change colour now. You're going to cut your yarn off. I've already done that because I just made a mistake and had to refilm it. We're going to cut our yarn off and make sure it's the same length. We're going to grab our new colour, so I'm going to, let's grab the pink one. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that when we join it, it's the same length as the tail that we've got there. So it's about there. And you can trim this, of course, when we get to the end of our project. We want to make sure they're roughly all the same size. So we've just put it over our crochet hook and we're going to pull through the last two loops that we've got there. And every row from now on is exactly the same. So we're going to repeat row 2. We're going to do it slip stitch to join, so we're just going to pull that tight and this slip stitch will disappear. It's actually a chain stitch, slip stitch, same thing. At that point it's the same. What we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and chain 2. That counts as a single crochet and a chain 1. Into this space here, so this is the chain 1 space from the previous row, we're going to work a single crochet, chain 1, and from now on we just work into the chain 1 spaces. So in the middle section of this we're working into the chain 1 space, which is here. Going to work a single crochet and chain 1. Into the next stitch, again it's a chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 1, and in each chain 1 space across we're going to work a single crochet and chain 1. When we get to the end of this row, you'll have the chains that you skipped and there'll be a hole in the end. We're going to work a single crochet into there. So that's all we've got so far. But we're going to change colour, so I just need to pull that back out. Pull that last loop out. That's what I love about crochet. You can rip it out really easily and it's easier to keep going. So I'm just going to make sure that's the same length on each side. Snip that off. So grabbing our next colour, got a lovely bright yellow. I really like this yellow, it's nice and fun. It's a fun colour. So they're about the same length. Just do a chain to join, pull that down, spin it round. I'm going to do a chain 2 into the first. Oh, and what I did on my scarf, see how that went really loose there? What I did, and I don't normally tie knots in crochet, but with this project I am going to just tie that together, because that is going to come undone because we don't work over our ends, and that's going to come undone very easily. It's not trapped in our work, so tie that on there. And we're adding a fringe too to there, so we're going to make it got more tails on there. So into our first chain 1 space, we're going to work a single crochet, chain 1, and each chain 1 space across we're working a single crochet and chain 1. Now at the first few rows it's a little bit hard to hang on to, I found when I was making my scarf, but once you get a few more rows done it's quite easy to hang on to, and a lot easier. You'll get used to finding that chain 1 space, and before you know it you'll be crocheting it a lot faster. First of all we need to do chain 1 there, chain 1. When we come up to the last space, and you have to remember to get this one, when I very first started my scarf I didn't, and my rows were getting shorter and I was like, what is going on? And that's why. So single crochet in the last space. We're going to repeat that, and we're going to repeat it for every single row. You're going to change colour at the end. So let's pretend I change colour. Then it's chain up 2, single crochet, chain 1 in every chain 1 space across, and single crochet into that last space, which is the space between the single crochet and the chains here. It's that space there. So you would continue on working, and a rule that I used when I made my scarf, and I find that this works no matter what you're making with this stitch, try not to put a dark colour next to each other. So don't use dark blue and then on your next row use, say, the darker green there. Well, that's like a tealy green blue. So try not to use two dark colours together. I find that if it sort of alternates between a lighter colour and a darker colour, that works a lot better. This also works really nice if all the colours that you use are sort of on that same colour scheme. So if you did like lots of blues and greens together, or lots of, what else? You could do yellows and oranges, that would look really pretty. There's so many different ways to do this. It looks great as well when you use just one colour. It gives it a really nice texture. And also if you use every second row, if you use the same colour, it gives this it gives like a striped effect going that way, because each stitch, where's my pointy stick, so the orange, the pink, green and the blue, the ones that line up on top of each other, they'll all be the same colour because it's every second colour, because you'll be that one and then there'll be a different colour and then another one. So you could maybe do every second colour black and then change each colour on the other rows. That would look awesome. So you can play around with the colours on this, have fun experimenting. And now once we have our scarf finished, so I hope you enjoy your crochet until you get to that section, I'm going to show you how to add the fringe to the end. Now to make our fringe, mine isn't exactly even. I do need to trim mine. It was late at night and it was dark, that's my excuse. So I do need to trim mine off so they're all the same length. What you're going to do is this is yarn just attached to a yarn ball. You're going to lay it down and then just double that over. And then we're going to snip it off. And we're going to cut lots of strips that same length. So this one I can trim off. So this is a good way to use up little pieces of yarn. So we're going to cut off a heap of those so we can use that to measure again. If you need to make a load of these things, I would recommend cutting a piece of cardboard the width of that. Cut the cardboard the width of that, and then just wrap your yarn around it, and then just snip it off on one side only. And that's a really quick way to make a fringe. This is the really slow way, but I don't need to make many, so it's all good. I'm going to cut off some more so that we can add the fringe to our scarf. Once we've cut enough strands of yarn, and what I did is I cut 2 for every row of colour. What we're going to do is we're going to put them on our scarf. So I've just folded that in half, make sure they're even. What we're going to do is we're going to attach them on. So going to the end stitch, we're going to pull through, pull up a loop, grab all those strands and pull through. Want to make sure it's on the end, so just pull tight. Go to your next colour. Grab my yellow. I'm not sure if I said before, I'm just putting 2 strands for each colour. Yeah, I think I did already say that. So pop it over my crochet hook, pull through, and then grab all the yarn and pull through that loop. I'm just pulling that tight, but I'm holding on to that so I don't stretch the crochet. So let's work our way down. What have we got next? Orange. Make sure that's even. Pop the orange through. You know what? If you grab the other strand from the row that we had already, grab that as well. Pull that through that same loop. We're going to work our way all the way down to the bottom. Once you have all of your fringe done, we want to do exactly the same on the other end. Here is my finished scarf. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, there'll be plenty more videos to come. Share your creations on our Facebook and Google Plus page. All the links that you need are in the description box. You can now subscribe to my newsletter. I will put a link in the description box as well, so that you'll never miss another newsletter again. The newsletter is packed full of crochet goodness and lots of free patterns and video tutorials. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy crochet!